Okay, it is now time for last minute noughts and crosses revision. So grab your copy of the script, whether it's on the table, on a bench, in the garden, on the sofa, whatever. Grab a pen, grab a piece of paper, and we're ready to go. Fold your piece of paper into quarters or just draw lines, it doesn't matter, this is only for you. And then you're going to randomly find a page in your script. This wasn't so random, as you know, this is my prediction for this year, but you're going to make a note of the scene number and the page number that is on in the top quarter of your piece of paper. So you can do the same scene as I'm doing here, or you can pick any random scene at all from Noughts and Crosses, or a scene that perhaps you think you would like to study because you would be a little bit less confident with that if that came up in the exam. So write down the scene number and the page number, and then write down any characters that are in that scene. So if you do that now, and then pause the video. Okay, next up you are going to choose 3 adjectives for each of the characters that are in your scene, and you're going to choose adjectives that describe them within that scene. So for this one, I chose calm, cold or distant, and vicious for Jasmine, and angry, confrontational, and incredulous for Sephi, because they are all of those things in this extract. So pause the video, have a little think, and then highlight the character that you're going to choose to be the focus of your revision today. Okay, we're switching gears now and we're staying within noughts and crosses, but we're now going to look at design. So we'll come back to characters later, but it just keeps our brain ready and alert if we switch up the skills. So what I would like you to do now is pick the 2 of our 5 design skills that you feel least confident with and write them down in a bubble on that second quadrant, please. The 2 that you're least confident with, because they're probably the ones you need the most revision on. Once you have decided on those 2 design types, you are going to consider the extract you've already chosen and written at the top, and then spend 5 minutes on each, just mind mapping what you would put into your answer in the exam. And remember, to get the top band in this, we need to be talking around 6 different things that you would include, and using the key terminology where possible, because it's just going to allow you to access those higher bands. And then pause the video now, give yourself 10 minutes, and then come back to the video to carry on once you have done that. Okay, we're going to look at our 8-mark question skills now. So what I'm going to get you to do is pause the video in a second and find a line within the extract that you've chosen and written at the top of your piece of paper that the character you are going to focus on in today's revision session says. So the one that you highlighted at the top. So pause the video, go and find a line that you think is an important line that will split up easily into 2 or 3, and write it in that 3rd quadrant of your piece of paper, please. Once you have done that, it's good practice for you just to read over that line and figure out what you think that character is trying to achieve in that line, so that you can consider this when you move on to the next task. So do that now, please. Okay, so now we're going to do some planning for our 8-mark question. We're going to take 5 minutes, and around the edge of your quotation that you've chosen, you're going to now consider and write down all of the physical and vocal skills that you would use if you were performing this, because that's what we're being asked to do. If you were performing in this role, what would you do? And you're all fantastic actors, so you know what you do, and all you have to do is simplify that and write it down. So all the physical skills, all the vocal skills, what impact are you trying to create by doing that, and making sure that you have as much variety of those physical and vocal skills as you possibly can to get into those higher bands. The next thing we are going to do is think about our 12-mark question. So we are looking here at a shaded extract, if you remember. So your job now is to go to your extract that you've chosen, decide on which part you are going to use as your shaded extract. It's normally about 4 or 5 lines per character if there's 2 of them, so about 10 lines for the extract. And once you've decided that, as you know, for this 12 marker, you need to talk about how you and the actor playing the other character is going to use physical and vocal skills and space to show a specified effect. So right now you need to choose what the specified effect could be if that extract was to come up in the exam. So for mine, I've picked mother-daughter relationship, but for yours it might be completely different. So pause the video and have a think about whether that could be friendship, love, conflict, tension, rising tension, whatever you think you and that character would be showing in that scene. And with that now done, it's time for you to once again plan what your answer would be. So how are you and the other actor interacting together to create the specified effect? So for mine, how would me as Jasmine and the actor playing Sephi act, using our physical and vocal skills and the space between us and interacting together, create that idea of that mother-daughter relationship. So I've put here that I think it's a strained relationship, so that's what we're trying to show. And then we are looking then to put in as many physical and vocal skills and use of space to illustrate that strained mother-daughter relationship. So always referring back to that specified effect, but making sure that we have got that variety of physical and vocal skills all the way through to approach and reach those higher bands in our answer. And finally, if you are looking to go the whole hog and do some skills and practice and plan for a 20-mark question, then the way that you can do this is turn your page over and have a think about the character that you have chosen. So for me, it would be Jasmine. And in the top half of that page, I'm going to write down all the different things that Jasmine is showing us in the extract, and how I would then use my physical and vocal skills in the extract to show that and to create that effect and communicate that meaning to the audience. And then at the bottom half, I am then going to identify some key scenes for Jasmine that either compare or contrast with the things that is visibly present in the extract, and again find some examples that I am going to use to show my physical and vocal skills and communicate that meaning to the audience, whether that be similar or different to the way that Jasmine's presented in the extract. So you can finish this video here and go ahead and do that for your 20 marker. And then once that is done, you can take this video, save it somewhere, and come back to it as often as you want and do this again and again with different extracts of noughts and crosses. Absolutely any extract will work. You can choose them and pinpoint them depending on which ones you feel you need, or you can simply open the page and find anything that works for you. Please do use the revision workbook that I provided for you that has some really great examples of specific extracts with exam style questions for you to work through, and you can also find all of the past papers using the link that I will send you on the PowerPoint. But as always, just do your best and remember to rest. It will be what will be on Monday. I'm sure you will have done everything that you can, so I will see you on Monday. Break a leg.